Hey everyone, welcome back to Bird Talk with Terrence Mathis. I'm William Brandon. Please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel Atlanta Sports Unlimited and turn on those notifications so you don't miss an episode. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, the simplest sports fantasy game on the market, and you can pick from multiple sports platforms: football, baseball, basketball. And get this, sign up using the code ASU and Prize Picks will 100% match your initial offer up to $100. And sign up at Google Play Store or the App Store. Yes, yes, Atlanta. Yes. The Atlanta Falcons defeated the Carolina Panthers 24-10 this past Sunday at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta for this new Falcons team's first victory. How do you feel about that win on Sunday?
Well, I told you they'll win this one. They're 1-0. That's the start. You always want to win the first one, get that first win out the way, and then build on that. How do I feel about the win? Here's the thing. And, I've been hearing radio personalities and people, and I've even just people out in sports bars or around or having conversations and even on social media talking about this offense. And particularly the passing game and Desmond Ritter. But when is it? I don't care if he went 0 for 15, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles, and we win 24-10. We won the football game. Okay, those who are very critical about this team after week 1 are not real Falcon fans. They're trying to find something to pull and say, well, okay, they won, but and I think a lot of people were sitting out there waiting for them to fall on their face. Now, let's get back. Let's talk about this defense. Defense is very good. Very, very good. I think we have a very solid secondary, which we've been missing over the last few years. We can do better in rushing the passer a little bit. We got 2 sacks on him, but I think we can do better there. I was kind of baffled how many yards we gave up on the ground, over 150 yards on the ground. And I thought that was our strong point going into week 1, was stopping the run. And we're going to have to fix that. But all in all, they made plays when they had to. It was fun watching them fly around and be excitable, So that was the good part of, that was good. Offensively, we always know that we're going to hand the ball off. You got to, Patterson didn't play, but you had Robinson and Algier. Algier had 2 rushing touchdowns. Robinson had a receiving touchdown and looked electric running the football. That 2-headed monster is going to be special. Those 2 young boys right there is going to be special. When you have that type of running game, you don't have to throw the ball 30 times a game.
Right.
You don't have to throw the ball 25 times a game, because at the end of the day, these guys are going to make plays out of the backfield. But, there was a couple of alarming things. We gave up, I think it was 4 sacks. That was kind of, alarming. That's a lot of sacks in week 1. That's a lot of hits on the quarterback. But I think the most alarming thing to me was, I think we had less than 50 plays offensively.
Yeah.
I think it was like 46 or 48 plays or something like that. That's unheard of in the NFL. Unheard of. Less than 50 plays in an NFL game.
Right.
And it wasn't like Carolina had a big time of possession. It was just, it was weird watching us offensively. It was really weird. And wide receiver 1 had 1 target.
Wide receiver 1, I don't think he had no targets.
No. I think I saw it throw to him 1 time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He had 1 target. You're correct. He had 1 target.
Wide receiver 1 had 0 catches.
Correct.
Going into the
Ritter
season,
had more catches.
Yeah, listen, going into the season, as one of the breakout wide receivers in the NFL. He has 1 target, no catches. But what Kyle Pitts had, 4 targets? I mean, we didn't throw the ball, but 15 times whatsoever. But that's what's concerning to me because of the fact that at some point, we have to give the playmakers balls.
Right.
And Pitts made some great plays down the stretch there to put us in scoring range and all those things. But offensively, I said going into this year, offensively, we have to answer some questions.
Right.
Because I knew defensively we were ahead of the offense, watching them all through training camp and through preseason. Yeah, I was at my celebrity golf outing, and you're sitting with future Hall of Famers, former All Pros, former Pro Bowl players, and we're sitting there, and to the man, each one of them said, "How do you expect to come out and be sharp in game 1 if you don't play in the preseason?"
Right.
If you don't play, how do you expect, especially when you have a young quarterback and a young football team offensively, you're not going to be as sharp as you should be because these guys don't have a lot of games up under their belt. They got to play preseason games, but that's done. That's done. We won week 1. We got to fix some things offensively. Defensively, we got to stop the run. I was, of course, special teams wise with Koo is who he is.
What about?
I'm not criticizing this football team because I think they're gonna get better and better and better. But what I want to see happen in the short future here is calling better plays in the passing game. It seems like the passing game is an afterthought in the offense. We're very creative in giving the ball, doing all these things, running the football, but we're not creative in the passing game. And you have all that talent, Hollins and Pitts and Jonnu, and then you have London, and you have Robinson that can come out of the backfield. You have all these guys with great hands, really good in space, and we're not taking advantage of it. Not week 1, we didn't. Hopefully week 2 we will.
Yeah, Pitt's targets were actually 3, so he didn't even get to 4. Matt Collins had 4 targets. The running backs, Bijan had 6 targets, and then Tyler had 3 himself.
Wow.
So you've got a couple of running backs that had more than your number 1 receiver, and then tied for your tight end. So I agree with you on the offensive, the passing game, because I did question that on Sunday. Just it wasn't many downfield throws, and so we here, and probably you as well as me, most people are still just wondering because we don't see enough downfield action. Is it the play calling, or is it the quarterback? We don't really know until you can keep showing us more. I saw those screens, these flat passes, those type of things. But the one deep ball we did see, it did look nice, and Kyle got it.
Yeah.
Like you said, you've got talented guys out there, 2 first-round picks, tight end and a receiver, that you would think they would be used in those type of manners.
Here's the thing: you named Desmond Ridder as your starting quarterback.
Right.
You have to trust him. You can't baby him. You're gonna have to trust him. He played 4 games last year. You got to trust that he's gonna make plays. Don't baby him with giving him simple passing scheme. You gotta. He's not gonna get better if you continue to do that. He's not, because there's gonna be a time where they're gonna play 8-9 in the box and try to stop the run, and we'll have to throw the football. So it's early in the season. Let him go. Let him loose, and let's see what happens. I mean, you can't pamper him for another 16 games.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. But when I said Bates was going to be the catalyst to this defense, two picks, two
Two picks.
picks. I'm telling you.
He would be the
And
league leader if it wasn't for Josh Allen throwing 3 to the one guy
yeah,
last night.
now get this: two picks, championship pedigree on that defense.
Mm-hmm.
When you've played at the highest level in the biggest game of our profession, you bring that and you take that with you. That luggage goes with you wherever you go. And that's what Jesse Bates has done for this defense. Now we have to find someone. Remember, we talked about trying to find who's going to be that leader offense,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have one.
Mm-mm.
You don't have one. Right now, after week one, it's Bijan Robinson.
Robinson.
He's your leader, and he's been on a team all of what, 3-4 months,
Right?
and he's your leader. Wow, come on, guys, somebody step up now. It's but it is what it is. I'm not too worried about this football team. I told you guys they should be going into late in the year.
Mm-hmm.
They should be fighting for the division championship. So it's only week one. Guess what?
Right.
They're 1-0.
Right.
And there's many teams wish they were 1-0 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a game up on the field on a lot of them. But we just got to keep winning. I don't care how you win, just win the football game. Yeah. That's what kills me. It's our job to analyze the game and talk about the game. I'm happy with the win. I mean, a win is a win. However you do it, it's okay. Right. You gotta at the end of the day, just win football games. Mm-hmm. That's it. And our job is to sit here and analyze and talk about it whatsoever, because it'll be boring to just say, hey, we won. Let's go 24-10. Yes, throw out the stat numbers and then move on. No, we want to figure out. My job as a coach or a player is, how do we get better week after week? And that's what we're talking about. Okay, because at the end of the day, we won.
Right.
I'm satisfied with that. No. We got to get better.
Right.
And that's the player talking, and that's the coach talking. We high-fived and had a good time, and here it is. It is, we're taping this on a Tuesday, and it's the player's day off. Tomorrow we got to go back to work. Right. We can't talk about the game before. So now, as a head football coach, as an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special team coordinator, how do we get better? Okay, we did some good things, but how do we fix the things that may cost us games down the road? Mm-hmm. And that should be the discussion in tonight as the coaches meet, get ready for putting together the game plan for next week. Is, okay, how can we be more effective doing this? How can we stop 4 sacks? If you keep giving up 4 sacks a game, that's a lot of sacks towards the end of the year, and we can't let that happen. But this football team is, you gotta understand, offensively, this is a young football team. Right. It's a really, really young football team, and they only gonna get better once they find their identity. I know everybody says we're a running team, but okay, you have some playmakers that may turn it the other way if we find a way to get a solid passing scheme and structure that Ritter can hold on to and be it and take it on as his own and flourish in it.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to piggyback on what you said. I was thrilled that they won. Like you said, it's been a while since they won a home opener, I believe 2017. And just to be in there, and the atmosphere was electric. The fans waving the towels, third downs, they were loud. Yeah. So the atmosphere was there. At the beginning, there were some groans, oohs and ahs, and that was just because it was kind of fluttering out. We couldn't really move the ball passing. Right. But when Algier came in, he made those 2 big runs and erupted. And then when they gave it to Bijan, they threw that little flat pass and he juked those guys.
Yep.
We were like, wow, that's a
Yep.
talent. He was worth
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
You
He
could
was
just see
worth it.
the future with that kid,
Yep.
you know.
Yep. And
Uh,
speaking of third downs, in today's NFL, you can't go 2 for 10 on third down.
oh man.
That's 20%.
Mhm.
That means you punt the ball 8 times. You give the other team 8 more opportunities to put points on the board. That
Right.
can't happen. We got to cut that in half. We got to cut those opportunities in half.
And like you said, our line, I thought that the line was, a couple guys. Well, excuse me, we signed McGrary, Lindstrom coming off a Pro Bowl year.
Yeah.
We got rid of Mayfield. I
Right.
thought that the core nucleus of that line would be able to sustain, not give up 4 sacks on
Right.
the first game of the week.
Right.
And like you were saying earlier about the preseason, it's funny because I was a defender of Ritter not getting much play.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not everybody else, but that
Mm-hmm.
was brought up to me by fans. They're like, "Hey, how do you feel now? Don't you think preseason would have mattered?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay,
Yeah. So but it's water under the bridge now.
right,
We just move forward. One of the coolest things that happened Sunday is this. First of all, let's talk about Bryce Young a little bit.
Mhm.
This kid gonna be pretty good. He's gonna be dangerous in this division.
Right,
His poise and composure was incredible. And we talked about it, and guys, we were talking about it, and a lot of guys made the comment is if he had some weapons, he's gonna be special. And I said, yeah, but he does have weapons, but our defense secondary is just pretty doggone good.
right,
And they said, yeah, that's true. Everybody like, that's true. But the coolest thing, his first touchdown, we laughed so hard. Me and Brian Finneran laughed so hard. Hayden Hurst scores a touchdown and throws the ball in the stands. Bryce Young's first NFL touchdown, and he throws the ball in the stand. So they come back after commercial break, and you see a ball flying back in the field to the ball boy. Our own William, the new braided hair analyst, my dude, threw the ball back so Bryce Young can keep it for his first touchdown. And I text you right away, and I told you that was a class move. That was first class, because that kid would have went in the locker room and went, dog, I wish I'd had that football.
right,
You don't understand when you get a chance to play at this level and you commit, you do a first, it's special, because now it's what you've been dreaming of. Your
right.
first touchdown? Oh, my first touchdown, you better believe it. That ball was tucked right here. It was tucked right here. Like after I scored, and I ran to the sideline like this, and the equipment manager said, "You want me to take that ball?" I looked at him like, "What are you gonna do with it?" "I'm gonna save it for you and give it to you." Okay.
Yeah,
So that was the coolest thing, man. I really, you know what? As a former player, you wouldn't imagine how huge that was. That was huge for that young kid.
I couldn't believe it. I just looked up and it was just coming, and it just fell right in my breadbasket like that. Boop.
What did the fans say when you threw it back?
Well, so some fan, a lot. It was mixed. Some fans were cheering, patting me on the back, and there were some where they're shaking their head. They were like, "What did you just do? Oh my God, I can't believe you just did that. Do you realize how much money that was worth?"
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
See, but you know what? For you doing that, I promise you, you have bigger blessings
right,
than putting it on eBay trying to sell it for $200.
right. And God has always looked out. Always
Right,
has for me.
right,
Through
right,
tough times and the
right,
good times.
right.
So I'm always thankful. And Panthers PR did hit me up today, and they're supposed to be sending me a ball autographed by Bryce Young
Nice,
personally to me,
nice.
and we'll see.
See,
Yeah,
see how it all
yeah,
plays out.
yeah, yeah.
Something good came from it because you
Right,
did good. They reached out to you, and they're gonna do good by you. That's
right,
awesome, brother. See,
right,
I've been saying that, man. Be
right.
good to people, man.
Right on. You always do.
Yeah,
You
it's
always do.
awesome.
But like I said, I had to give the glory to God because it's just weird. It's 70,000 people in that stadium, and
Mm,
his first ball, and I end up catching it. I'm like, what are
mhm,
the chances?
mhm. That's awesome, man. I know that was exciting. That's good stuff, brother.
So, what are we gonna do about Jordan Love? This guy seems to be pretty good right now after this first game in Green Bay, and that's our next opponent this
Mm.
weekend.
Well, and they got some young talented at
Mhm.
wide receivers. They got a good running backs, veteran offensive line. He's been around one of the best to play the game, Aaron Rodgers. He looks confident whatsoever. Um, you know, played against a Bears team that's is not. I don't think is in the same class as us.
Mhm.
Uh, but it's going to be a challenge. The thing is that we can't allow them to hold the ball, uh, time of possession like we're allowed the Carolina Panthers to do,
Right.
because this team will score points, and
Mhm.
they will score a lot of points in a hurry. So I think Nielsen and his bunch is going to have devised a scheme to try to confuse the young quarterback whatsoever. I think we're good enough, and on the back end, I'm talking about defensive backs where we can play some man-to-man matchup
Mhm.
and confuse him a little bit, disguising some coverages. So uh, it's going to be a chess game. I like it. I like this matchup because it's going to tell us where we are. It's going
Right.
to really tell us how far we are, because here's a historic franchise with veteran players, a young quarterback that played very well on opening day, and we're gonna see and a very stingy defense, by the way, and we're gonna see where we are. How much have we uh, made adjustments from week 1 to week 2? And that's the key. The better we make adjustments. The adjustments that we make have to be very, very. It has to be a big jump from week 1 for us
Yeah.
to win, especially this game. This is gonna be a tough game. Offensively, here's the thing.
Mhm.
Offensively, we have a right to be worried, but we still need to be optimistic and say, okay, this coaching staff is smart enough that they can make corrections and make adjustments to, one, uh, reduce the sacks,
Mhm.
and two, to have a better scheme throwing the ball. One time I looked, he was 4 for 5 for 0 yards and a touchdown. Did you realize that?
No. Mm-mm.
We're watching it on
Mhm.
TV and it flashes. He was 4 for 5 for 0 yards and a touchdown. I says, how does that happen? That means we were throwing some screens and getting hit in the backfield whatsoever.
And that catch when he probably backed it to
And he
himself.
caught it, and he caught it himself. And that's what did it. But I was like, it was it was one of those weird stats.
I will say, I know that was just a freak play at the beginning, but sometimes those balls get intercepted, and I
Yeah,
was glad to see Desmond
yeah,
go and make an
yeah,
attempt on the
yeah,
ball
exactly.
because that
There
could
was
have
no,
just turned it.
I have no questions with what he did, but that
Mhm.
was just a weird stat
Oh
for
yeah,
for
100%.
to look at. But I overall, I think this was their preseason game.
Hmm.
Okay, all right, you got that out your way. Now let's play to the standard that we expect you to play under year 3 with Arthur Smith.
Do you expect to see more downfield passing in this game?
I no, I don't. I don't
Well,
because
that'll pivot me my next question then. So we talked about London as one target. He's a number one. You're number one. What coach says that all we care about is the W, which we do, but you as a number one, what are you saying to yourself? Is there anything, or is it okay? And you're just going back to the drawing board and wait your turn.
well, here's the thing. If as a coach, if you ask me and you says to me in the press conference whatsoever, hey, Drake London, he only had one target today, coach. How you how can you fix that? With a comment of saying all we care about is wins, is insensitive. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna say that because you need to care about the players because the players are the one that wins the football games.
Mm-hmm.
Head coaches and quarterbacks get wins and losses, but the team wins the football games. And every player got to be in a good headspace doing the same things at the same time for the same reasons for you to win football games.
Right.
So once asked that question, I'm gonna say, God, dog it, I understand that. We gotta find a way to get him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta find a way to get him the ball. I know he's disappointed, and I understand that, but he's a big part of what we do. That's on me. We're gonna find a way to get him the ball in the story.
Right.
And guess what? When he sees that, he's going, okay, my coach understands what I feel like. The other way, he don't care. He don't care. You can tell me all day. And you can tell me all day. All we care is about W's. Me too. I
Yeah.
care about W's too.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I know when it's crunch time, if we're not cohesive in the passing game, we're not gonna W's, we're gonna have L's, not W's.
Yeah,
So
because eventually you're gonna have to use those guys.
yeah, but here's the thing, and here's the thing. When you hear guys as well, you won, that's selfish, whatsoever, blah blah blah. No, 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 no. Let me tell you guys something. Even in a win, if a guy comes to me and says, Coach, I need more balls, or Coach, I need more touches,
Mm-hmm.
or Coach, I need more time, I'm not gonna get mad at him because you want players on your team that want to be part of it and want to be successful. Wait, what if he just said, okay, that's fine. That's all we, just want W's, blah, blah, blah. So he goes practice next week, go through the motions. Now he gets targeted 5 times. He drops 4 balls.
Right.
But then you win. And then when you ask the questions, well, you targeted the receiver 6 times and he dropped 4 balls. Well, he got to do better.
Right.
Well, you just said all we care about is W's.
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't have dropped those balls. Wait a minute. Hold up. All you care about is W's. Why are you criticizing me in the media now when you had a chance to stand up for me the week before?
Mm-hmm.
So as coaches, you got to be careful how you say things because once it gets back to that locker room, let me see, that locker room is strong.
Right.
That's a bond in that locker room where when it's whew, it's like a virus when there's a bad feeling going around. It's like a virus. So you need to stop that and care about these men and understand that it's not selfish if a player wants. That means I want guys who want. I
Right.
want guys to come to me and say, I want more time. I want more catches. I want more touches because that means he's ready to produce and play. If you don't come to me, or if you say to me, "Oh, coach, that's all right," dude, I'm gonna tell you right away.
Yeah.
No, that's not all right.
Yeah, I think he even said let the fantasy owners worry about it or something.
Yeah, it's not even about fantasy.
Yeah.
Not even about fantasy. See that that kind of rhetoric is not good for
I agree. It's
that's
not
not good for the locker room. It's not good for the psyche of the player. It's not good. It's not good. Do you really think Drake London would think I need catches for fantasy football?
exactly.
Do you think so making that statement is it's ridiculous. So you think I'm sitting here going, man, all I care about is Drake London catching balls for my fantasy team. No, I want my football team to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we're going to need him down the road. So he got to be in a good headspace when we need him.
Right.
All that crazy, man.
Well, I'll say let me pivot real quick before you get to your moment. I want to ask you one quick question. Aaron Rodgers unfortunately went down yesterday. tore his Achilles. We find out today, and a lot of talk has been said about the turf. What can you tell us about the difference of the turf and the grass? Is it that big a deal that it can harm you that bad? Like
It
you
is.
noticed it when you played, like, oh my
Mhm.
goodness.
It is that turf doesn't give.
Hmm.
I'm not saying it would have happened, but there's a possible that his foot would have slid
Hmm.
on the grass and it wouldn't have got stuck on that turf,
I
which
got you.
caused that calf muscle to buckle and that Achilles to roll up into his calf.
Mm,
Um, when you plant, you see a lot of guys slip on grass, which is a good thing because
right.
if they was on turf, that that foot would never move. Then there's a ACL or ankle or something like that. So, yeah, but it's cheaper to be on turf. You
Okay.
got to maintain grass.
Yeah.
So you can have all that argument. You can have all that argument when you want, but owners say no. It's cheaper for the turf.
I know.
I
I
don't
think
have
it's
to
because
pay
they're
for it.
figuring it out for the World Cup and stuff. So I think that's what's
Mm-hmm.
getting people upset now that
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
making arrangements.
It's a multi-use facility stadium. I need that turf.
So what you got for us today to end the show?
I'm gonna be real quick with this. I'm gonna say this to you people out there: never let anyone steal your joy. Don't ever let anyone get in your space that gives you an anxiety, makes you nervous, and scare you because of the fact that, dude, God is with you. Here's the thing, and I say this to people all the time, and I had to say this a couple of times in the last couple of weeks. Speak to that problem and tell it to move.
Mhm.
Tell it to move. You, that enemy, you say, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, move. In the Bible, it says, if you had faith as small as a mustard seed, as small as a mustard seed, you can tell a mountain to move and it'll move. So this week, I want you to go out to your grocery store, buy a little thing of mustard seed, and every day before you leave that house, put a mustard seed in your pocket, in your purse, in your sock, in your shoe, wherever you want. And every time you go and get into a situation, you touch that mustard seed and say, my faith is, is this big, but I know it's strong enough to tell that situation to move and never come back. You're not welcome here anymore. And watch. Yeah, God is a good God every day, but he does amazing things all the time. And to that, go get your mustard seeds.
Right on. Thanks as always, T.
Yeah, man.
Way to go, Falcons. You got the first win of the season on your belt. 1-0. Way to keep going. Let's keep it rolling. Let's go beat these Packers.
2, 2, 2, and 0.